guys, Jay the Fish Guy here. So today we're doing an unboxing and initial review of the Seachem Tidal 55 HOB filter. It's a newer filter. You know, for me, newer means that it hasn't been around for the last 10 years. You know, you don't see too many new HOB filters come out. You know, there's ones that have been around forever. Things like the Whisper filters, the AquaClear filters, which are by far have been my personal favorite over the years. Just with the media basket that you can, you know, put different medias in. You're not tied to a filter cartridge, and they tend to be less money to run in the long term because you can rinse and reuse the sponges, and again, do your own bulk media. So when this came out, I was interested, but I wanted it to be on the market for a little while before I jumped in and started playing with one, not knowing if it would be, you know, really well received by the hobby, as well as what the longevity and durability of it was going to be. So now that it's been out for a little while, I figured I'd grab one, check it out, see what it's all about. I've been hearing some pretty good things about it, and a lot of comparisons to the AquaClear filters, which I love so much. So already that's good marks as far as I'm concerned. So let's open it up and check it out. Again, this is the 55 model. They have two other larger sizes, I believe the 75 and the 110. So very similar nomenclature to the AquaClear filters as well. And they're good. There we go. Alright. And pretty thick instruction manual. I hope that's because it has a lot of different languages and not because they think it's that complicated. So right off the bat, I mean, this is a pretty good size filter. Again, this is their small version. They say it's good enough for up to a 55-gallon tank. For me, I probably wouldn't ever push it that far. I would probably say a 40 at most, but I'm always of the idea that you should really size up. So, you know, if it says it's good for a 55, well, you know, 40 maybe. You know, so always go to the next size up for what they tell you it's going to need. So some of the features they have listed as far as some of the important things to note, which makes these stand out. They have a little list here in the booklet. Low wattage to high flow ratio. It actually only burns 6 watts, so very, very low energy consumption, which is always great. Silent operation, we'll see about that. Self-priming pump. This was something that the Aqueon filters first came out with, I believe. They're the ones that really went mainstream with it anyway. So the pump itself is actually located in this housing, and this is the part that's inside the tank. So this filter can be bone dry, you can plug it in, and it'll self-prime and get up and running. That was always one of the features I loved about the Aqueon filters, but they tended to be kind of noisy, and filter cartridges were expensive. So good idea, just wrong filter application, really. So I'm interested to see how this all works, because again, I love that whole in-tank pump design, and it really helps to quiet things down typically. So let's see what else they're talking about. Self-cleaning impeller. I don't know if I'd believe that completely, but you know, maybe it's designed in a way to be less maintenance. Let's go with that. Non-corrosive parts can use in freshened salt, which is good because I actually plan on putting this on one of my QT holding systems downstairs for salt water to see how it works out. Filter cover doubles as a secure tray for your filter basket. That's cool. Telescoping intake, yep. Oh, and it's got a surface skimming intake, which you can actually control. So this dial controls how much flow of water gets pulled from the intake strainer, which I'm assuming is in the box here, or from these grates up top, so it can actually surface skim. If you've ever gotten a layer of film on the top of the tank, which is sometimes kind of a pain to get rid of, if you got a lot of dust in your home or things like that, this will actually pull water from the surface, again, or so it says. We'll test it out and we'll find out for sure. Overall, though, first impressions are, you know, pretty good. It's a decent sized filter. This filter basket comes right out the top here, or at least it's supposed to. Got a big bag of the Seachem Matrix, which is their version of a biological media. It's, I believe it's pumice stone, literally. So it's a very, very porous media, allows for good biological activity. And they got a piece of foam down in the filter basket, and that's about it. There was a little locking tab there for the basket. So this little blue tab here, that'll actually lock the basket in place and prevent it from pushing up, which is a good thing, because if you ever use the aqua clears, when they started getting clogged, they could actually push the basket up higher. So that's kind of a nifty built-in feature there. The basket is a great idea, again, kind of stolen from the aqua clears, which is a good thing. So you can put your foam piece down in the bottom, and then from there, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. If you want to run carbon, you want to run biomedia, if you want to do a different biomedia, polishing pads, you can do whatever you want. So to me, that's great, because I don't like to be forced into a cookie cutter, you must use this filter cartridge. It just never sat well with me. I like having the flexibility to do different things, more of this, less of that. And this looks like it should really offer that. So that's pretty cool. That just snaps back in, little tab goes back over. That would all get rinsed thoroughly first before you put it in there. And I'll probably put a little bit of bonded blue filter pad or a polishing pad that I use in between the coarse foam and then the biomedia. It just polishes the water that much more. It gets that little bit better of a crisp look to the tank. And it looks like it has plenty of room in there as well. So you also have an adjustment knob on the top here with a little markings that show you, more flow or less flow if you happen to be dealing with a fish that doesn't like quite so much turbulent water movement. You can turn it down. For me, usually I don't mess with that. I just let it run full bore all the time and then just let it go. So with the pump chamber, this just pops, this little cover here just pops off the bottom, and then you have the pump, and that just slides off just like that. So really small pump, which is awesome, and it's pretty friendly to get to. You'd have to take the whole thing to the sink so you didn't make a mess, but for me, service and maintenance of the pump is always key, because that's the critical aspect of longevity in any filter, not just to hang on the back, whether it's a canister filter, a power head, a return pump, this type of filter. Service your pumps at least twice a year, if not every quarter, roughly. It depends on how dirty your tank is, how full it is, how much you have for fish and food and etc. going in there. But, keeping these clean and running cool will really extend the life that you get out of a lot of these pumps. So definitely a good idea. And this one looks like it's as simple as just popping off the front piece and pulling out the impeller and cleaning it up, and you're good to go. So first impressions, I'm impressed. We'll see what it does in terms of, how much. They say 250 gallons per hour. We'll see, if it actually lives up to that claim or not. Got your telescoping intake strainer here, which goes on like that, and you can raise or lower it depending on if you're running it on a short tank or not. And you got a few other bits and pieces. You got this leveling screw that goes there, so you can adjust this in or out depending on how far away it is from the back of the tank, so it maintains level, so it's not tipping back and spilling out the back on you. Yeah, so like I said, first impressions are pretty good. Seachem doesn't really make bad products as a rule. I've never messed too much with any of their equipment. They say the pump is made by Seachem, which is a very highly regarded name in the industry, usually with saltwater applications, but their pumps are known to be very long-lived and very durable. So I'm hopeful that it should be a good filter. I look forward to getting it on my QT system and seeing what I think. I'll make another video in a few months, and we'll see where we're at as far as what I think of it then. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check out the specs and such on the website. And yeah, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.